Here's Jack. Boy, we had
There
some
he is.
we've had some developments while you've been gone.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I'm excited. I'm back. I'm ready. We've
Well,
Well,
no.
returned.
before we tell him, Jeffrey, we got to hear about the baby, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's a little angel. That's what everybody keeps saying, but they're not over here at, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. when she's been screaming for 2 or 3
Yeah,
hours.
All
yeah.
right, please stop. I just want to go to sleep.
Good
Oh
fun.
yeah. I mean, I'm like, and now I have like this thing. Like I was trying to go to bed last night, and I heard her. I thought she was gonna wake up, and I was like, start looking around, like, please do not wake up. Like, I was like, do not scream like that again, please, because it's so hard. Like once you get her quieted down, you just you got to tiptoe around. Don't want to wake her up again, God forbid, because she'll be up for another hour.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yes.
my wife and I used to keep the house loud. That way, like if they can go
Well,
to sleep when it's loud, like
that's what everybody keeps saying. They're like, you gotta be loud, and then they can sleep through anything. It's like, well, my daughter when it's loud, she gets overstimulated, and it keeps her
yeah.
up. So, I
It's
guess
a I mean
she's.
it's like it's you're only 2 weeks into it, so
I know that's the thing. I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, enjoy the first 8 weeks. He's like, because then after that, the newborn phase is gone. And I was like, what's that mean? And he was like, you'll find out. And I was like, what?
then you have an
What?
infant.
Yeah. I was
You
like, I
know,
was like, what? What do you
yeah.
mean?
Lots
And
of
then,
doctor trips and lots of checkups and
Man, let me tell you, those are not fun already. Been to a couple of those. Luckily, she likes the car. If you put her in the car and you just stay moving,
Yep.
God forbid we get stopped at a train. Um, you know, that's that's a different story. But she likes driving around. Um, she's been eating a lot. She's gained a lot of weight. She came out 6 pounds, 6.5 ounces.
Ooh,
So perfect size.
yeah.
Um, not too big, thank God. They
Nice
thought
little
they thought they she was going to be 8 pounds, and I was like,
yeah.
God, I hope not.
Nice little petite thing. Probably
Yeah,
your wife probably appreciated that.
yeah, oh for sure. I don't know what would have happened if she was any bigger than that. So
very nice. Now you got to
absolutely.
get her account opened up and put a couple
Yeah.
shares in there, right?
That's
Gotta get
that's
that
what I've been doing. When
gotta
I found out she was pregnant, I opened a Robinhood IRA, put her name on it,
there you
and
Sweet.
I
go.
did SCHD, SCHG daily buys.
That's it.
So
That's it. Perfect. Very good. I'm
And,
proud of you.
and don't
thank
forget to
you.
get your Trump account. Don't forget that Trump account.
I,
It's free
I
money.
heard about that, and I don't know. So I'm trying to think because technically I wouldn't file it on my tax return this year
Yeah,
because
it'd
she was
be
born in
yeah, she's born this year, so
2026.
it'll be next year. Yeah, next year.
Yeah,
But don't forget, that's
don't
just free
forget.
money.
Right. And they said that they're going to have it set up next year so that you can just do it online, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Now, you can also find out what that growth curve is going to look like for her when she's, 20 years old.
yeah,
The
I
account is
mean,
going
my
to grow
gosh.
into. It's critical. Right now, she's got the one thing nobody else has, and that's time. And that really,
It's
it's a
true.
No, I
precious
mean,
resource. And everybody thinks we have time. I talk to guys in their mid 60s talking about they got time till they're 85. Nobody's got any time except a baby.
you
That's
never
true.
know. You never know how many takeoffs and landings you got.
That's
That's
it.
it.
So
Every
let
day's
time
a
do all the heavy lifting and put some good companies in there. And yeah, you'll give her a much needed head start.
That's my goal. Like by the time she's, getting ready to be in college, I want her to, if she needs a car, there you go.
Yeah.
You want to go to college? Well, at
Yeah.
least I can pay for,
Yeah.
your tuition. That's the least I can do for her, you
Start
know.
them young and next week have her write you a report. What is a dividend? And
I brought her in here one time and I took her from grandma and I said, Grandma, I said, give my daughter, I got to show her something. Took her in here. I said, Evelyn, you see that? I was like, that's the
yeah,
market. All right.
I had a long talk with my grandson Roman over the weekend. He's only 3 months old, but he didn't pay attention to anything I said. But I planted the seed in his ear. That's the main thing, right?
That's right. That's what I've been doing, planting the seeds. So,
That's it. You've been planting some seeds for sure. All right.
mhm.
How about this disclaimer? Everything involves risk.
It does. And past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation, hopefully, it's going to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. We're just shooting the stuff with Blake here. He's been out on paternity leave, and now he's back. So
Now I'm back.
brand new addition to the family.
Glad to
That's
have
So
right.
him.
if you trade stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, you might lose money. I mean, the odds say you probably will if you do it naively. So be careful out there. If you want personal financial advice, we've got a Edward Jones office opened up downstairs below me. You can go visit them. But Jack and I, proponents of just learning this stuff yourself, you're gonna do way, way better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Michael says he put a basketball in his kid's crib. Didn't do him any good. I put a Chicago Bears football in my son's crib, and he turned out to be a Green Bay Packer fan, if you can believe that. So
Oh my gosh, how does that happen? The rivals.
he did it just out of spite. Once he realized that the Bears hate the Packers became his favorite team because I like the Bears. You know how boys can be.
Oh, absolutely. I know everything my dad told me. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
goodness.
right. Yeah, and then you got other guys who got their favorite team, and their son loves the same favorite team. And I just thought, wow, why couldn't I have? Don't even put that "Go Pack Go." We'll kick you off of here, Jeep lover, for that.
yeah, you,
You
you
don't
know,
know what we can do. All right,
yeah,
maybe we'll
just give
get
me the
around to
word.
talking stock market. This show,
All
you
right.
never know where we're going to go with this thing.
You never know.
And
All
here
right,
I am.
fellas.
Here I am, like, wait, what's a pack and what's a pat? And that was.
Yeah.
Jeff, you're stuck in blue hell with the Titans, so I apologize for that. Okay, it doesn't surprise me you don't know about football. Okay, the Tennessee with the Titans. So,
All I know is they used to be the Oilers from Texas.
Yeah.
well, it's more than a lot of people know. So, anyways, it's baseball season now.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Although it's like, isn't it some kind of basketball thing coming up here?
Oh yeah, March Madness. You know it.
Brackets or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, sure is. Got the volunteers. Anyways, enough
All right.
yip yap. You guys go crazy. I'll be here in the background. And
Yeah, so
thanks,
Glad to have you
guys.
back. Glad to
Blake,
have you
the
back. Congrats on the new baby for sure. Robin Grossman says congrats. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
Good to have you.
guys.
and Blake, while you were gone, I bought a Mac Studio and Hatch 2 Open Claws. So I've actually got two of these bots. One of them's training up to learn how to do trades in the market and be better with that. The other one's learning how to make better content. Between the two of them, we're going to do a better show. One of them
Okay.
on Friday, one of them made an awesome report for us about the wheel,
Incredible.
and it was pretty incredible. Yeah, that's about the only word you can put behind it is incredible. And I actually closed. Let me open that back up from
What
Friday.
language model are you using? Anthropic? Are you using Gemini? What do you use? A Grok? Like
So
what's your model that you're using?
I have traded it out about a dozen times. Right now, I'm on the newest model that came out last week from Alibaba, which is Gwyn 3.5.
Okay. I've never
And
heard of that one. Is that like DeepSeek?
it's by Alibaba. I mean, DeepSeek
Okay.
is its own thing. This one's by
Okay.
Alibaba. It's Gwyn is there, and they released it to the public. So
Okay.
this is it's open source and all that stuff. And I clicked the wrong.
Well, color me intrigued. I mean, Jeffrey, I love AI. No, because the thing is, I've used OpenClaw too. I've got several bots that I've been running on Anthropic's Claude Sonnet, the 4.5 and the other
Yeah,
versions.
so I've plugged it into Olama, which for
Okay.
$20 a month, I can run any of their cloud models.
That's not bad.
And um, I haven't used more than 10% of my weekly allowance in the last 2 weeks.
That's really
And
good.
I'm running two of these full time on it.
Wow.
And here's the report that was created for the show today. We gave it feedback on Friday. We had some critiques, like it didn't use live pricing. It kind of made up some prices, and we needed weekly options and a few different things. So it found 36 tickers that it thought met the criteria. It grabbed these pre-market prices at 8:45 this morning, logged into my Alpaca brokerage account. We were looking at, days to expire. The report Friday, it had picked 1 month out, and we gave it the critique to look at 2 to 14 days, no further than 2 weeks out, and 2 days for later this week when we're closer to Friday. That way it looks at this week or, the next 2 weeks. So that's what we're looking at here. We wanted the beta over 1. Price over $10 was our preference. Has weekly options. I put in there up and to the right, so it said uptrend. Jack's pattern. It has the market roadmap bounce pattern and the measured bounce pattern. I've taught it both of those, so it's got those in there. So as a reminder, we're looking for net credit 40% ROI. So here's the net credit divided by the capital reserved, divided by days to expire. Multiply that by 365 to get the annualized rate of return. There you go. If you need the formula for this, right there. Now, Jack and I use PXO that does this kind of auto magically and just tells us which puts qualify. But here's the report that we have. Top 10 wheel candidates for the day. Number one was.
Can we give this link away?
I'm cautious about that because it's got some stuff on the bottom of this report that I'm not sure we want to just give out. We can make that call in a minute. I might delete it and then we give it out. So let's roll through it.
A separate document or something,
I may just delete it. It's got a few things on the bottom. I was like, maybe not. We want to just blanket give that out. But it actually put the pattern in here, what it is. Like, we didn't have that Friday. So this one has a measured bounce. This one has an uptrend on NVIDIA. It's a little bit sideways.
Yeah, it's there now.
Market roadmap bounce on AMD. Definitely, I agree with that one. Meta, been an uptrend longer term. It's on a pullback, I guess shorter term, we're in an uptrend too. Just kind of churning in there. Google, it's interesting it picked all the Mag 7s here today.
Yeah, I know.
Google uptrend. Amazon uptrend. Microsoft, I would not say that's an uptrend. JPM, market roadmap bounce. We can look at that one in a second. And Apple, uptrend. And then last but not least, Bank of America, which we looked at that one. That was on the list last week. And we've got the updated prices in here.
Now, is this written by Kraken or Eris?
This one's written by Kraken.
And then Eris what is her role?
So Eris is my trader. She knows all about trading.
Okay.
And Eris knows about helping.
Kraken's doing a deep dive on what we want.
Yeah, Kraken helps make show content. So this is show content, and they actually work together. They actually talk to each other. So it's kind of crazy.
It is crazy. What you showed me, I thought you were messing with me, man. So Kraken is talking back to you.
Yeah, I sit here and have a conversation with it. It's the wildest thing.
Woo.
So
here's I don't know what to think about this yet.
We've got the Mag 7s on here, plus the couple extra that it threw in were JP Morgan and Bank of America. That's really interesting, I think. Now, it's number one pick. Now, I haven't actually done more than just scan through this report. It says we've got a potential measured bounce set up on Tesla. And it's looking at the potential rate of return around 41%. And if you grab that, it's estimating $5.50 per contract that you can get. That's pretty rich.
Hold on a second. I'm going to do this one here. Tesla, the strike is 385.
Yeah, it says 385.
The expiration.
The expiration was March 10th.
And I should be shooting for 550.
Yeah, so March 10th wouldn't actually be an expiration. It'd be the 11th or the 9th. So it does. We'll have to get on it just a little bit here about actually pulling real option prices.
Yeah, that's okay. We found a little glitch. It needs to be tightened up. And this is saying.
Yeah, this is going to be a work in progress, everybody. As we do this daily, it's going to get better and better.
3.6 probably means 3.6.
Let's see what we got here.
Does Tesla have 3-day-a-week options?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so it's right then. It's so six would be Friday,
Yeah,
that'd be a Wednesday.
the 11th is Wednesday. That's got $4 premium on there right now. Of course, it's been moving around a lot. It was dipped at 390 when it did this report. Now it's back up above 400. So that's probably
Like
pretty close.
I like it. I like it. I like this one. So we're talking the 390 strike,
It was saying
385.
385, which
Yeah, I
is
might bump
still
it.
it's still paying $4 for next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna bump it up. I'm gonna go with the 390 and try to
That's
put
yeah,
it
it's
up.
sitting right in that $5 area right there right now.
I love that one. All right, that's a done deal. What else we got?
So that was the number one pick right there. Number two, let's
Oh, I
see what
love that capital required.
look at this.
That's all part of that trade?
Breaking
Wow.
it all down for us right here. And it's
And
look at that. It's telling us what we're doing. We're selling a put. If assigned, we're going to own 100 shares at 385, or you're at 390, and the effective cost basis would be 379.50 if we got put. It's doing all this math for me. Like I didn't tell it to do anything except make this report.
this just emails it to you in the morning, or how do you get this report?
It actually sends it to me on Discord. I have these things in a Discord server with me. So
So what does the program run on? That it's connected to Discord and then it sends you a Google sheet?
it sent a .md file, which is a markdown file, and I just dragged it over and dropped it into Google Docs, and it has all these emojis and colors and bolds and all that stuff in here. All this stuff automatically. I didn't add anything. I didn't edit anything. It's just crazy how how cool
Yeah,
this is.
it is crazy how cool it is, especially like, I just want to reinforce to everybody on here today, we do not look for stocks that are going to make a directional move. We only look for stocks that we can use as an asset to create cash flow. And then that stock criteria is what he's programmed in here. So that's what I love about this. You can have a $4,000 day today without any stocks going up at all because you're selling premium on both sides, cash secured puts and covered calls. Nothing's better than this. And now that you have this daily plan, look out. You show up every day, folks. You get an action plan every single day.
And look at this. Look at this. It knew that Tesla always has elevated IV. I didn't tell it that. It went and figured this out, that Tesla always has elevated, consistent premium. And that crazy that we talk about that on the show. I mean, maybe watch some of the back episodes. Like
Well,
that's
the thing about it is it's learning. That's the difference right there between the other program I had and this is that the other ones did not learn. They were static in that sense. This is getting smarter all the time. How? We don't even know how, but it is getting smarter.
it has memory files. I know it has these like it has its own little markdown files where it writes things in there that I tell it. It decides what's important and puts it in its memory, and then it goes through and recycles every night and gives me a report what it learned that day, what it
Wow.
thinks is important that I said, or things it figured out,
Wow.
and
You don't have to reward it any, you don't have to feed it or pay it or
just have to pay the electric bill.
man, what a good employee this is. Never
It's
gets sick, never gets hungover, never comes in late, never takes time off because it's having a baby, Blake.
Yeah, we missed you, Blake, if you can't tell.
We do miss you. Hey, does it listen to the show? Tony's asking, is it listening to the show?
So I've been giving it links to the show. I don't know if it may watch the replay. I don't know. Like I gave it the replay page. I told it to they can go check it out. So I don't
Unreal.
know.
Yeah, this is unreal. I can't imagine where we're going to be in 2 years either, administrator. This is all happening, right here. You guys are seeing AI in action. There's no bubble. This is generative AI that's being used to help people make money. Uh, yeah. Will it become a smarter version than you?
Probably. I mean, there's no reason it wouldn't be smarter than me because it has more knowledge than I have. It's trained on every document that humans have ever produced in all languages. That's certainly more knowledge than I have.
Gary.
So I tell you. So it also even notes the risk on Tesla. This is so crazy right here. We have no earnings in this window. Maximum risk. I mean, the stock is unlikely to go to zero. I mean, he even wrote that. Like, and the stock going to zero is a risk, but probably unlikely. And the stock could drop 4.4%. Could be down at you could get put the shares. So
Fine
that's
with
interesting.
that. I'm doing number one, just for the record.
And number two is Nvidia. Another of your favorites, Jack.
Yeah, I did that one already. I'm going to do it again now that I see that Kraken likes it.
It's been in a relentless uptrend for a while. AI demand driving continuous buys. Any pullback gets bought instantly. That's all true. I don't know where it got it, but it's all true. So I came up with the livestock price. We have a beta, the highest on the list here. Let's go check it. Let's see if it's actually got the. Let's see if it got the beta right. My beta shows 3.5. I wonder where it pulled the beta from.
Let's go try bar chart.
Let's try bar chart.
Possible.
Hold on.
Or
I may have typed the wrong thing here. Yep. I definitely typed the wrong thing. That's cool. Cancel. We got to terminate the whole thing here.
yeah,
All right.
think
Maybe I should. I missed the T on bar chart.
yeah.
And NVDA. Let's see what we got cooking here. I may have to tell it about bar chart here too. Well, it grabbed the previous close as the price. Yeah, 177.19. 177.19. So that got, I mean, one of our critiques about it not getting the right prices. Now it's pulling the right prices. So little baby
2.31.
steps. Baby steps. We got to improve it little by little. Where do we go for a beta?
Right there under fundamentals, 2.31.
I was trying to look for. So it does have 2.31.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If you type it in the
Oh,
search
here we go.
symbol, did you type? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, 2.3, 60-month beta, 2.31. So it got it. Like, that's it. Bingo, bango. That's
It
right.
nailed it. Wow. I wonder where it got that data if it didn't get it from TradingView.
That's a good question.
I would ask it.
Actually, I bet
You know your sources.
I think it's at the bottom of the report. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Yahoo Finance, and it estimated some premiums.
Yahoo Finance is unbelievably accurate.
So it pulled off Yahoo Finance and some estimated premium. And look at that. Go wheel some income, magnificent monsters.
Beta is important, David Taylor, because beta is measuring the volatility of that stock relative to the broad market. So the broad market has a beta, which is a measurement of volatility, a beta of 1. So any stock that has a beta over 1 is going to be more volatile and therefore have higher premiums in its options, which is important if you're an option seller, which is what we do here on the show. That we have a premium of a beta of at least 1, if not more. So Nvidia, almost 2.5 times more volatile than the broad market, which is why those options are so juicy.
And you asked me about, did Kraken write it? Here it is. Kraken signed it.
Did Kraken give itself an emoji?
Yeah.
This thing's scaring me.
It's got a giant squid emoji.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
It.
Love it, man. Love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Now it told me to ask you some questions in here, right here.
Based upon what it heard me say before.
Oh, based on the feedback I gave it and stuff like that.
Okay. Ask away.
So I said, with Tesla at 402-ish, it's funny, it's 404 right now. So that's pretty darn, 403, I guess. So with Tesla at 402, is my measured bounce setup still valid? I guess that's really a question for me, and we could bring it up and look at the chart right there really quickly. If I pop over, type in Tesla. and look at it. And I think the setup's still valid. Like
Totally. I'm doing it. I
this
like it.
looks this looks good. I mean, this
How long can it lag? That's the other question. This thing is due for $500 a share, more than anything I've ever seen.
it's due for it's due for a
20%.
big move.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been sitting here sideways for a long time. So,
It's
and
due for
then
20%, or 500 wouldn't even be a big deal. That'd only be 20%.
and then right here, best risk reward. Which of the top five would Jack pick? And I think he just answered that.
Yeah. I don't know that we made it through the whole five, but I would pick the first two you like.
Yeah.
I love both of these. Um,
And then we'll come back to number three here in a minute. We're kind of, I think we may rename this instead of calling it the wheel. We may call it the, what were you calling it? The
income
triple income system.
system.
So we may come back to talk about how we can do this with under $10,000. And we'll probably come back and talk about assignment psychology too. Let's go back and look at some more of the list here.
Mhm.
This is gonna get to be interesting here. Well, it's even look at this. It's even got the capital requirements broken down by ticker.
That's what I was saying. I really need that part now. I got all my stuff into one account over the weekend.
Uh,
Yeah,
Look
this
at
is,
it listed out why each trade. Why would you do these? I mean, this is crazy stuff right here. So I mean, I
yep.
guess today's action plan. I think I took out the thing I didn't really. Yeah, look at reminders. Like you only want to do wheel stocks on things you want to own. Keep some capital reserve. Don't use 100% of your buying power.
Mhm.
Never close at a loss. That's Jack and I's advice right there.
Now on that number two, I pretty much don't do that. I try to deploy as much buying power as possible, and if I need to bail myself out, I use margin because it's on a margin account. But
Yeah, that's kind of that's the same here. I think we'll critique it on this one. On this, I think I'll add a critique here for it later. I don't know
because
that
you
that's a
really,
critical rule to use.
no, I don't think so either, because you're making half as much money as you could make if
Yeah,
you don't deploy at all.
yeah, I'm
So
usually up to 90% cash,
yeah, yeah,
utilization, and then I use the margin, like you said, to if there's something that needs bailed out, I usually go into
yeah.
margin a little bit and then work
So
myself back out of the margin.
exactly right. So I'm at 70% now, which is what deployed, which is why I want this Tesla and Nvidia idea and whatever else I can. This is perfect timing for me. I got 300 grand I need to put into action.
And number five, I halfway agree with. If you naively go at an earnings play, that's dangerous. If you go at it and find one like we did on Levi's, where you can be way below any kind of support, I think that's playing it smart.
Yeah,
So you need to be smart when you play earnings.
yep.
Having just some diversity in your account, that's always really good too.
But the other thing is when earnings come up, like with AVGO coming up, you've got a great opportunity to sell some really high priced puts if you want more of the stock outside of the market maker's expected move. So maybe five, we modify that.
Yeah, I'll give it some feedback on these right here.
Number six, I've been taking pictures of the fills I've been getting relative to the bid and the ask, and I've only been using market orders, and they've been way better than limits. I got
Okay.
killed on using
I
some.
usually aggressively use limit orders when I get the price I want. Um, only only occasionally do I do a market order. I'm like, well, that filled way too fast.
Yeah, I got just so many pictures. I got filled at close to the ask on a couple today. I just take a snapshot of it to show the bid, the ask, the midpoint, and where I got filled. It's been amazing at Schwab. So I don't know about number six. That wouldn't work for me. I love market orders. I've been getting a higher price than the mid.
Yeah, and Blake, I actually installed something called Sear X and G, so I can do searches for free with this. I don't have the Brave API at all. I actually disabled it. I don't like to pay for things, so I'm working as cheap as I possibly can on this thing.
Hey, that's fair. Brave API, you got to pay. It's like what, $10 a month or something?
Yeah, it's just
Fee
extra
to.
cost. I mean, I'm running these things as like I want these as cheap as possible here. So, Anyway, so we got some feedback on the risk rules here, and I guess I could share this out. Like, just remember that, there may be inaccuracies, there may be errors, but I can go ahead and share this. If you give me 1 second, I'll click the button to share it. I'll throw it in the chat. Um, Let me set it to viewers. Anybody with the link can view it. Copy the link. I was hiding my personal information by doing this. Now we're back at it. And we'll roll back up and look at number 3 here on the list. There we go. The Google Docs. I'm sure everybody's little icon's going to pop in here. There they go. So rolling back up. And I'm not going to give anybody edit access to this. It's my document. So just throwing that out there. All right. Back to number 2. We had it got the beta right. So that's like, this is surprising to me how accurate and good this is getting already on the second day. So, wow. That's a pretty good one too. So it was looking at grabbing the 170 strike with 7 days to expire, March 9th, which would have been I believe that's a valid expiration.
That is. The 6th is Friday. That'd be the Monday.
Yeah, that'll be the Monday expiration. So it's going 1 week out from today.
Funny.
And grabbing that. Now it's because Nvidia's ripped higher, almost 3% since earlier. That strike price is now, pretty far out of the money. If you had gone 4% of the money, you'd be roughly at the 175 now, since Nvidia's up $5. So
I'm good with that. I'm gonna do that one too.
And that's paying right in there. The premium's jumping around a little bit, but
I think I told you I sold some right at 200 in the aftermarket on when
yeah,
Nvidia reported, so I'm due for a little putback. That's a $30 difference. I'll take it at 170.
that's a pretty good little payday. $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that candle. That's a strong candle right there. But look, Jack, we talked about this before earnings. I mentioned that we'll probably come back and test this.
You did, which is why I put that stock for sale in the after hour session, which I cannot overemphasize enough that people do that, especially with earnings. You got a little gold mine opportunity there right at that first reaction. If it's up, you can sell into it easily. No commission. That after hour session is awesome. So be looking for that on AVGO if you're playing that one this week.
Yeah. Before we go too far down the rabbit hole here further, AVGO, I mean, look, it's on a pullback, so getting a pop on earnings, and we already know it's an AI darling.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is right in support. It is pushing the limit a little bit, but it's holding in here really well. It wouldn't surprise me to see a pop like this. Oh, golly. Oh, gravel in my throat. Wouldn't surprise me to see a pop like this coming out of earnings. So,
Yeah.
what's the general feedback? Does anybody not like what I've done here, this report and the,
No.
I mean, I know a lot of people think it's cool, but does anybody not like it? Anybody have some like critical feedback here?
And and do you see yourself being able to make money with this? This is also what we want to do is, educate and inspire you, but also take you right to the well and let you drink if you want to drink on a daily basis. This is we hunt every day the market's open, and this is making hunting so much easier every day. I'd love to see you guys and gals show up every day and hunt and bring in some cash and get the money you deserve.
Yeah, and I mean, so I see the feedback. We'd like some lower price stocks. That was one of the things in Friday's report. It had a bunch of lower price stocks, but it picked up a bunch of meme stocks, or at least a couple of them, like GameStop. And I critiqued it on that to not do that. But um, it did pick Bank of America down here.
Cool. Yeah, and I could throw out a couple if it hasn't. I mean, Fly, I'm absolutely loving Fly. Um,
And we
Hood,
can give it a few examples to look at. But Bank of America, here you go. Like sitting here at 50. Like you could do this with basically about $5,000.
yep. 4,500 gets you in the game. Fermi, you could get into that for less than 1,000, FRMI.
Yeah, this is one of Jack's favorites. It's
Look
starting
at
to
that.
have your pattern here.
It
You
had
know,
a, I'm telling you, you see that $12 print up there? This was market manipulation right here on that gold wick or whatever I mean that green wick. Where'd that thing touch? Did it hit 1205? See that? There's a
the hi-
lot of manipulation that day. This thing is getting really ready to go. Look at this.
yeah, the high was 1205 exactly.
Yeah, there's some kind of scam trading manipulation. And then I'm telling you, within a minute of that, it moved down so low. It was like 1086. I couldn't even believe the quote was changing that fast. So just beware. This is a little piece of junk, but I can't stay away from it. I'm drawn to this thing like a moth to a flame. I can't stay away. But it's an example. If you want a low price stock, you can get into this for like $800. I even sold some more really stupidly low puts, but they're there. There's a market for this.
Yep. And this was one of those things like I guess is no better time to talk about the capital efficiency than right now, coming back to the questions here. So if you have like under 10,000 bucks in your account, how do you get started? Well, I would probably go with a little bit lower price stocks, maybe Bank of America as one, but maybe like Fermi or maybe one of the ones I really have been liking is CSIQ.
Yeah. Levi's again.
And this one pulling back today, so it would have offered a really good put entry this morning right here. And it's
Still
down at
would.
16. Still would, it's still down here at right around 16, 17. And then Levi, it's another one in the ballpark.
Low price.
Support,
Two
support
grand,
right
you're in the game.
at 2 grand, you're in the game. I mean, this is another really good one to go after. And the beta is here, like 1.2. It's really nice.
Yep. And if you want a little more, just under 10 grand, ASTS, Rocket Lab, and
Yep.
Hood are my three favorites. Look at that ASTS.
And Rocket Lab and ASTS have almost the same chart pattern.
I love up and to the right with good volatility. What's the beta on this little rocket?
Yeah. Right now it's showing 212.
Ooh, anything over two is awesome.
Let's see
So
what we
there's
have over here.
right there. For under 10 grand, you got Rocket Lab, ASTS, and Hood.
Yeah, we're showing the
Same
beta
thing.
right there. Yeah, pretty close. 216. Show my personal information. Love it.
This is just stuff. I've got my own money in these trades, so I'm not telling you, like another person would do. My own money is in here today. So yeah, I'm good with it. ASTS, you can get super far out of the money. I sold a 67 put today. That's crazy low where on ASTS.
Yeah.
Rocket Lab, I sold the 60 put. If you can believe that, 60 put, 67 put on ASTS. Yeah, just you can get way out of the money and get good dough.
Yeah. And
And if I got put either one of these folks, I would love it, right? I would love it. So it's win-win. Expiration is 3/6 on all that stuff, which is next Friday. We
did you see they
normally
had a successful launch? Rocket Lab did. Um, their rocket was cool as crap, man. Like I like the way they painted it and the carbon fiber they had and the whole deal.
have you seen
Uh,
Firefly stuff?
I I haven't I didn't see any live stream of that. Like this, they
Wow.
launched something this weekend. Rocket Lab did, and it came through on my social media.
Well, I've got the real stuff too. No dream going on there. They got real stuff. So there's
Oh,
yeah, take a look.
FLY, not RLY. Put my fingers on the right keys.
This
But
is
this
a
one, this one
brutally failed IPO. Yeah.
kind of beat down again, and I'm off of it until we start going up again.
I took the biggest position probably I ever took in this on the put side.
Okay,
Um,
let's pull up
yeah,
some.
I want it. I want some of this.
So here's another one that's affordable. You gotta want it. You gotta want it. That's rule number one in the wheel. You gotta want this stuff. But March 6th, oh man, fat premiums.
That's what I'm saying. This is a real company too. They're gonna I think they're gonna survive it.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure they will. It's just, they're a little beat down, little.
how about
There's
Hood? Did you look at Hood? That's a pretty affordable one.
yeah, Hood's not horrible. I've been doing Hood
Yeah,
actually.
me too. What did I do today? I sold
I rolled a 74 forward to this Friday for almost $1.50 last week.
I sold the
And
68 puts, 10 of them for this Friday. 68, I ain't gonna get them at 68.
I've been at 74, so I'm a little more
Great.
aggressive.
Gotta raise mine up. But there you go, folks. Any range, and if you want to go bigger, I'm doing Goog, Tesla on the higher end, Love Vert, Love and Vert, if you want to do the higher end stuff. I'm also doing TSLL,
That's the way to get into Tesla with way less cost. If
$1,500. You're in the game. You get a bigger bang for your buck here too.
yeah, the beta ridiculously over three.
Yeah, the higher price stuff again, AVGO, I like that. Vert, Goog, did some NVIDIA, I did some IBM. LRCX, I'm loving that thing like a fat kid loves cake.
So there's not a single way I find these. I see the question in the chat, do you use PXO? It's like yes with an asterisk. It's like there's no single way I find anything. Me get on here talking about stuff with Jack, I probably find half the stuff.
Hmm.
And Jack finds stuff, I find stuff. We come on here and talk about it. Now we have an AI cracking finding stuff. We've
Mm.
got yeah, we got PXO as a reference, as a resource and a reference. And
And the other thing about finding stuff is you can go one of two ways. You can find stuff all the time new, or I like to go back to the well. So if you got $1 million, you got 10 positions, that's all you need, maybe 12. You divide it up that way. And if you go back to the well constantly, you get an opportunity to lower your cost basis down to a point that's ridiculous, like Jeffrey has done with TSLL. The stock's at 14.50. His cost basis is down to $10.
yeah,
It's only down there that low because you've done it so many times. If you do it just once or twice, that's not going to happen. So you don't need new stocks all the time, is all I'm saying, unless you want to. But you can find five, three good ones, five good ones, 10, 12 good ones. That's all you need if you want to go back to the well all the time. If you want to find new ones all the time, then you got a little more work involved. But I got the 10 I like.
see, I've got my top three is Nasdaq with my daily credit spreads. I've got Rocket Lab in there. I got TSLL in here. That's my number three most profitable right there. And then I got SoundHound that's I accidentally sold the shares and booked profit, but I went right back in with puts. And
You could screw this up and still make money, right?
yeah, yeah, I'm only down $200 having sold those shares. So I'm right back in it with puts, and this will probably be positive before you know it. But
You only need one stock. Like I showed Jeffrey some embarrassing results with TSLL. If you just had one stock, I mean, he's even made 50% on TSL using less than 10 grand and never bought a share of the stock until
look at
recently. But
I mean, look at that though. Winners and losers combined, 111,000 since I started doing this back in April.
nice, dude.
And February was my biggest month. Almost $24,000 right there in one single month.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
across all my accounts. That's across all my accounts.
You did 24?
Yeah.
So my February was 27,346.
Oh man, we're neck and neck, baby.
Use less capital, so you probably beat me. But I'm on pace this month, going to be way over 30, maybe closer to 40.
And we'll see what I get to. I mean, it's on like Donkey Kong, but I'm not
It
pushing too
is.
hard. I'm just gonna keep
No,
doing the same thing I've been doing.
you should
Um,
think about this. You're halfway to where you are, man. You're
I
half.
I know, and that's across all the I'm my real 50K is to get 50K in just this one account right here.
Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm encouraging you to stick with the plan because your plan is amazing. I'm
And it,
just, I'm just putzing around here, guys. He's really one doing it.
Yes, Jack hitched his wagon to my get
I
along here.
did. I did. I wasn't happy with what I was doing, and I was doing it monthly, but not nearly as aggressive as I am now. And honestly, I've seen every kind of trader in the world. And when I started working with Jeffrey, I had no idea what we'd be doing. But seeing what he's doing with this challenge, I fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since. And I was just, I'm just extremely happy with what we're doing here. And the
Just so
result,
everybody knows, we started our show right back over here.
yeah,
We started this Market Master show. So if you've been coming and paid attention, you could have caught all of this fun.
all the fun.
I've talked about pretty much every single stock, every single trade I've done
The
here on this
good,
show.
the good, the bad, and the ugly. You
Yeah,
know,
even an ugly in here where I lost 4 grand. I've talked about it.
mine too. Mine too. I got my face ripped off buying back Nvidia calls because I didn't want to get called out at that strike price. Sold them for like $1.50, paid like $11 to get them back. Absolutely killed myself. Good, bad, and the ugly right there. But as I say, I did it because I wanted to avoid a tax problem. So it was an ugly trade, but we share warts and all on this show.
All right. So, question in the chat, how do you handle assignment after a steep drop? And let's talk about assignment psychology for the last few minutes here, Jack. What do you
I
say?
love, I agree totally. But first, you got to understand, I love assignment. It's if you do it right, like we're doing it, it can, as Jeffrey says, it can unlock an entirely new revenue stream.
Well, you want to rename this whole thing to the what was it? The triple income strategy?
Yes,
Triple income strategy. I need to just write that in here. Instead of the wheel. Well, we're gonna call it the triple.
because
I'll
the
tell
wheel people do it so different, right? And it's just yeah, triple income strategy
how
because
to
it's all
run
income. That's
the
the thing I love about it. We're we're trading for income. We're not trading for capital gain, right? Capital
you know,
gain in way of a price appreciation. We're
I'm gonna
trading.
highlight that so I can tell it to Kraken,
Wow.
update it. And so assignment psychology, it's kind of like, let's pull this over. This is the document that we showed off on Friday that the bot wrote. It still needs we got some feedback and the team wants to, change a few things in here. Jack still hadn't given me his feedback yet, but the first step in the wheel is to sell a cash secured put. And then, if the stock stays above your short put, you keep it. You keep the premium and you have no shares. But if the stock drops, sometimes substantially, then you get put those shares. And if you got paid properly, like if you actually did it and you're like, I want to buy these shares and I think this is a good value, you're not chasing premium, you're not doing, stupid stuff, then you got it at a good price, at the price you wanted.
And you got paid. That's
And you got paid to do it right there.
just why is it triple? Well, we'll tell you why. That's the triple here. This is step one. Getting paid once in the triple is getting paid to do the cash secured put.
So this is, step one is selling that put on a stock you want to, you have to have a stock you want to own. That's, that's just, if you don't want to own a stock, you should not ever sell a put on that stock.
Mm-mm.
Period. And if you want to own it, like if you're like, man, it's trading at 30 right now, I'd really want to buy it at 20, so I'm going to sell at 28. Like, why are you selling 28 if you want to own it at 20? Like, patience and discipline, all right? And if you sit there psychology wise and say, well, it's never going to drop to 20, but that's where I want to own it. If you have psychologically, if you think it's never going to do it, it's never going to do it. And if it does do it, you're not going to be able to buy it because you don't think it's ever going to do it. I mean, you're just already psyching yourself out of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of this game is psychology, and that's what we're sitting here talking about. The psychology of getting put. So if you get put, it's a price that you want to own it at. If you're selling premium way higher than where you think it's a good value, if you're selling up there at the 28 strike or 30 strike, when you think 20 is where you would want to get in, you're doing it wrong for you and your psychology. Because when it drops to 20 eventually, like you thought it was going to. Now you're underwater and now you're bummed out. And now you're more likely to stick your head in the sand and possibly even close it for a loss. And that's how you do it wrong.
Now, if you did get it put to you, remember, always remember that your true cost is that strike minus what you brought in premium. So even if the stock stays at the price you got it put to you, you could turn around and sell it and make the profit. You would keep the premium.
Now, once we've got those shares, we unlock
This
the
is,
next income ability right here.
yes. And the hidden one, which is you start receiving dividends.
Yeah. And dividends too. Yeah. So if you're on a stock that pays dividends, not all stocks do, but if you're on a dividend paying stock, which, a lot of wheel traders, a lot of, we go after dividend paying stocks because they're bigger, more stable, and you get that dividend. That's an extra bonus.
The fourth point.
Now, that's kind of like an asterisk out there. This is the triple income plus an asterisk, fourth little bit. Now, you own those shares, so you can go above your cost basis. If you have a 24.80 cost basis in this example, you sell at 25, you can sell at 26, you can sell, infinity infinity as long as there's premium available, and you bring in more income. So this is income stream number 2.
And
Selling
you
a call.
lowered your cost basis again. So you lowered your cost basis the first time you sold the put, then you got the stock, then you sold another call, you lowered your cost basis a second time.
Now, outcome A, you just keep that money. Stock is below your 26 strike. But outcome B, the stock is above 26, and we unlock profit number 3 in the triple income. Income number 3 is that we just got profit on the shares. So we got profit when we agreed to buy the shares. We got profit when we agreed to sell the shares. And we got profit when we actually did sell the shares. And that's
How do you beat that, folks? How do you beat it? What strategy has anything even close to these benefits? I don't know what it would be.
And that's the triple income right there. That's how it's triple income.
Right there. Now, if you've been watching, I do it on McDonald's, Coca-Cola, all kind of Altria, all kind of dividend paying stocks. And man, oh man, ExxonMobil, right? Those dividends just start packing it up. And you can take that dividend in cash as extra cash every quarter, or, reinvest that dividend, and then you're compounding on steroids. So you can even use this triple income strategy to build a compounding portfolio on the side.
And this is how it works, everybody. So, my bot is working on creating a full scanner with fresh live option premium ideas. I do get the daily report delivered to me in Discord. That's this report you're looking at. And, we have the pre-show with final picks, and this is what we do right here on Market Masters at 11:30.
Yeah. Tell Kraken that I'm impressed and I like what he or she is doing so far. Let Kraken know I approve.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll point it to the video and let it hear you.
Yeah. Let's see what it says, right? I would hate for Kraken to develop a complex, right? So
Well, we got it reined in. We have a few critiques here. We
okay.
got some feedback for tomorrow. That we need it to look at these cash reserves. We want to get maximum cash, utilization. We want to, we don't necessarily want to avoid earnings plays, but we want to do it smart. And then, some of the viewer feedback. We want some lower price stuff. So I'll give it some feedback and we'll see if we can't find some lower price stuff. But right here, it had one pick for beginner friendly, Bank of America. It had in your 5 to 20,000 area, it had Nvidia, AMD, and Amazon. And then in the more advanced, bigger account, if you got $20,000 to work with or more, we've got these stocks in here: Apple, JP Morgan, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla. So I think it did a really good job today.
I agree. It did a great job today. We got to tell it that. And we're giving this document away every day. Is that correct? Kim asks how to get the document.
How to get the document? I can just paste it in the chat one more time.
We're going to
Right
give
here.
it Yeah, there you go.
We may in the future do a Telegram group where you can get this ahead of time. We're working with the team and throwing around ideas.
And
And
and if you hear rumors that we're going to charge 1,000 a month for it, just remember it's a rumor right now. Get in
now,
free, and we'll get you grandfathered in somehow.
now this wheel scanner thing down here that it's going to build for us, it's an actual tool. You know, it was on the list down here. It's something it's working on. It's already working on it. All the way down here. Where was it? All right, yeah, next steps. It's working on building a tool right here with live option premium. We may actually charge a fee for that since it's going to have some data and stuff like that associated with it.
All right. I love it. I love it. Thanks again, Jeffrey. I just can't believe you did this. You never cease to amaze me. You're the true professor. This thing is fantastic. I've seen a lot of stuff. Tools is where the market is moving. And there's never been a tool like this that I've seen. This is just fantastic. So thanks
Yeah,
again.
yeah, this thing's smoking hot, cool,
It is.
and yeah, we're going to be working on making it better. Now, each one of these documents is a new document per day, so you got to come. Unfortunately, you got to come back and get tomorrow's document tomorrow. I'm not going to just stick it on the end of this one. This is, it was the report. Like I said, it makes a markdown file, MD, and I uploaded it into Google. So this is wheel candidates for today, and we'll have a brand new one tomorrow. We'll integrate the feedback. It'll
Look at
do its
Lori.
magic and find the prices and do the things, and we'll see
Look
what
at
happens.
Lori. Lori brought in 4 grand this morning.
Oh,
Doing
nice.
the wheel. AVGO, MU, CoreWeave, Palantir, RH, VST, and a few others. Yeah, she used to be a landlord with her husband. This is so much better. It is. I was a landlord too. Man, I'll tell you, I hated being a landlord. This is where it's at. Way to go, professor. Yeah, good stuff. All right, be sure to tune in tomorrow. And I think Jeffrey's got one more thing to share with you
Uh,
before.
Blake's got a replay we're going to play. We did a presentation a few weeks ago, offering some people to join Cashbot, and Blake's got a replay for this coming up, I do
Tony, we'll get
believe.
that report out to you as
That's
soon
right.
as we get it finished.
That's right.
Yeah, the
Thank
wheel
you.
report is still a work in progress. We're working critically in the background to get this done, so it's coming
Cool.
soon.
It's a
Cool.
work in progress, but you guys are going to be here every day for it. So make sure you're on Market Masters every morning.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Thanks again. All
Yeah.
right, good seeing you.
And seeing you too, Jack. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. Hold on. Now I got to take the screen back again. Here we go. I'm out of practice.
Take 2
We
weeks off,
cracked the code
forget
right here,
everything.
and you guys are lucky to be here. I can't
Yeah.
wait to get sharing this with you.
Kidding.
Well, Jack, what do you say?